We talk about the hurt. We talk about the impact of the hurt. We talk about why things hurt us, but we don't ever talk about the steps that it takes to get to the healing.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Beauty in You podcast. I'm super excited for our guest today who came all the way from New York. I'm so excited. She's been on the show before, but this time is a little bit different. And so I'm excited to explore this journey with her. So Simone, welcome to the Beauty in You podcast.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Chi Quita. I'm happy to be here.
Of course. You are amazing. Your story last time was amazing, but your story now is even better. I've watched your journey. I'm part of your journey as well. And what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So before we jump into that, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are.
Who am I? I'm Simone Mouchette, like you said, also known as the ultimate social worker.
She is that.
I'm an author, now a 4-time published author. Excited about that.
Yes.
I'm the founder of Resilient Young Minds, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that is geared to teaching youth and families how to fight trauma with resilience. I feel like I'm missing something. I also have a podcast.
Yes, you do. Hold up, girl.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
The Our Stories podcast is like my baby that is literally a baby. Like, I don't tell anybody about it. I just go home and take care of it, nurture it quietly, calmly, like you parents do, and go about my day. So sometimes people be like, yo, how's the Our Stories?
Yes.
Yeah, how's your baby? Yeah, because that one is about elevating successful people who have experienced traumas, but having them detail their process of how they overcame it. And that's important to me because I feel like in a time where we talk about trauma all the time.
Yes, we do.
And we talk about the hurt. We talk about the impact of the hurt. We talk about why things hurt us. But we don't ever talk about the steps that it takes to get to the healing side. I want to know that. I know life is hard. Things are hard. We go through things. But what are the real steps and the real work that I can take? And that's what the Our Stories does. Give those different perspectives and contexts of this is the steps that I took to help me overcome this. So I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
Your motto? I don't even think I heard that.
I
okay. It's like, wait a minute.
Oh,
well, come on, girl. Pull out the resume.
So this is why I'm the ultimate social worker.
You know?
Because I be ultimating. No, but modeling is important because that's part of like why I'm here today. I feel like, in a sense, the modeling piece is the empowerment piece. And so I started modeling in 2022. Okay. I love it. It was because I lost a lot of weight. Unexpectedly through work-related stress, and I wanted to start loving my body again, and that's how I got into the modeling. But it like morphed into something else. I thought I was gonna look cute, take 1 or 2 pictures, that's it. But it morphed into something totally bigger. I got to see what body positivity was.
Yeah,
because I was not like. I was just regular. I wasn't big or fat or, that wasn't my journey. I didn't really know about the body positivity journey, but I thought it was for fat people mostly. And my mom was obese. So it's like, that's just kind of my mindset. It wasn't anything specific, but then getting into modeling and learning about what body positivity was, that I was struggling with body positivity even though I was really skinny. And seeing that, I don't know what modeling was back in the day, but right now it's a very like, safe, nurturing space for women and making sure that all bodies are loved, all shapes, colors, sizes. And I fell in love with that because I feel like working in the school system, being from Brooklyn, New York, it's very negative. Like it's just negativity all around you. People focus on your flaws as opposed to your strengths, and going into a totally different world from what I am used to and seeing how they operate, like they taking meditative breaks in between stuff. I was like,
wait a minute,
I could work like this. I could work here. Yeah, like I'm clearly in the wrong profession. So I planted like all these seeds. And then I also learned even beauty tips on how to take care of myself, like how to comb my hair a certain way, learning my hair tech. That's something you would think you would learn at home from your mom or something. But no, I was learning in these beauty classes. I was learning how to do a little makeup. Now I do a little do before I didn't know nothing about no makeup. I wasn't trying or anything. But when I saw how like it enhanced me and how I felt after, I was like, oh, that's why girls be taking 2 hours to get ready.
Yes.
Not so it's like that statement right there. I said that to myself. That's why girls take 2 hours. Am I not a girl?
You are a girl.
That goes to tell you how distant I was from my femininity. And so modeling brought me back or introduced me or reintroduced me to my femininity and embracing that.
One thing I want to talk about real quick was I remember the one reel you did where you showed us how to take a shirt that was too big and you like cut the side. And I was like, oh, that's cute. Like that looks so good. I'm like, I need to try this. Like, yes,
that's Dr. Katrina. She taught me that because what happened was with that story is so deep. So now I cannot wear regular sizes in the mall. I'm still dealing with my weight as we'll get into it now. But I realized that I carry stress in my body. And so weight loss or lack of appetite is my biggest sign that I'm stressed out.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so now I don't fit regular sizes. So you get the t-shirt, you're part of something, they get you the small.
Yeah.
You know, typically, like if you're small, you get the small and you be fine. But the small is too big.
Yeah.
And then if you have a company and you do shirts, you know that when you do extra anything, it goes into more pricing. So now someone would have to pay double just to get one extra small shirt just for me to fit. And I felt bad. I was like, I don't know. So she felt bad because she thought she got the right size. She thought she got extra small. And I was like, no, you need it extra small.
No. She was like, I was trying.
Okay. And I was like, no, it's okay. And she was like, you know what? She was like, I got you. I know how a technique you can use to cut your shirts up. And I never did the thing because it just time went on. And I was like, yo, I really want to celebrate and honor this woman who's doing this great thing. She's in Mississippi and she's touching these women all over the world, making them feel loved, making them feel seen. You know, one day you get an award out of nowhere. Oh, you're a role model. I saw that you did this, or you're getting that. And it's like, I needed that. Yeah. Like, I really needed that. So I'm like, yo, nah, I want to wear her shirt today. I'm doing the shoot. I want to wear her shirt. So I said, it's actually better that she gave me this tip on top of the fact that it's her shirt. Because when I tell you that I'm learning things, so it's like now I got other shirts, T-shirts, other merchandise that I'm going to be modeling that now I'm going to be making all different types of designs out of. Yeah. Because of just that one idea, that one ministry. Cute. But yes, thank you for bringing that up. Like, that was a real good example. I'm going to do more like that now.
I got a few in there that I can I saved that video.
I'm telling you.
This is how we do that. So I did appreciate that. I really, really did. You talk about carrying stress in the body and loss of appetite, loss of weight. I do want to talk about something extreme that has happened to you. You've had a transition. You've left the public school system. Talk to me a little bit about that journey.
So, to start off, I love working with children. I feel like I have
I know. She does love the babies, y'all. She loves the babies. She does. Absolutely.
Because, oh my God, I'm getting emotional. That's crazy. I say that because I want people to understand the magnitude behind that decision.
Yeah.
Like, and the magnitude is, we talk about this, you're a single, you're not a single mom, but like you're a mom, you're a younger mom. You know the mom journey. I work with a lot of single moms. My mom was a single mom. And I saw how she didn't have a lot of things. Maybe she didn't have the best education. She didn't have a lot of things, but she knew that she wanted her daughter to be something, even if she didn't know how. And when I was growing up, there happened to be things in the community that she was able to sign me up for so that whatever how she couldn't give me, I was able to get it there. Right. So my goal going into school is to help more kids and more parents that don't know the how. Like, let's figure it out together. I want to be that person in the building. So that was always my intention. School saved my life. I say that all the time. School saved my life. So I want to make sure that it is a safe space so that any kid that comes through school, they know that it's an option. It's a safe space and their life can be changed if they want it, and that the access is there. That's the goal. Create the access, make the safe space, and then let the children decide.
Correct.
That's not how the system works.
Yeah. It didn't go that way.
That is not how the system works. And so I went in there thinking that I could make a difference. And you can't make a difference in a space that has a certain way that they want things to run.
Yeah.
And if they make a difference, if they help too many people, it's the same thing like with healthcare. Like if too many people get helped, then the doctor's not going to get paid, or the pharmacy companies are not going to get paid. So people want to stay in those fields of harm and make money off of other people's hurt and harm.
Yep.
I'm not made for that. My body literally started to attack itself through those conflicts, those internal conflicts, those moral conflicts, those ethical dilemmas. Every single one impacted me, whether it went my way or the way I felt it should have went or not.
Right.
And most of the time, it didn't go my way. If it went my way, it was because my way was the way that probably prevented a lawsuit or, it's sad, but that's really what it comes down to. And so I left. I was in regular public school, and then I went into a charter school because I was like, maybe if I go to charter.
I heard charter schools are better. No. Okay. Nope.
I don't even know what
Really?
I told a parent this the other day. I don't support there's no school yet that I could stand behind right now.
Wow.
That's how I see it. Like if I have a kid, what school would you send your kid to, Simone? I don't know yet. I can't answer that for you. That's why I hope to start my own schools real soon. But if I were to have a child tomorrow, I'm stressed. Like I don't know where I would send them to school wholeheartedly. And I tell parents it's better to face the devil you know than the devil you don't. When it comes to your kid in school, because you can speak to whoever you need to speak to. You know how they operate. You know if one is true. You probably could have someone in your school building that's your person. We tell parents all the time, you always need one person in the school.
Yeah.
That's your person that's going to speak for you, that's going to advocate for you. And it's better to do that at a school you've been at already for some time. But when you go to a new school and they don't know you and you start speaking up, they label you as something else. And then they try to push you out, and it turns into something else. So that's a rock and a hard place that I don't think parents even have the freedom to even engage in that discussion. But as someone who believes in God and believes in right and wrong, there's something in my body that wouldn't allow me to continue to be a part of something that's causing harm.
Yeah.
So this last year before, I was like, yep, you got to go.
It's time.
I had the pain 3 years in a row. The last 3 years, I want to say from 2021. Yeah, that's about 3 years. 2022 up, I had a mental breakdown every year. The first one was 2 weeks. Then it went to 1 week. Then it got earlier. And then finally, I decided to leave that school setting. I was like, you know what? It's this school setting. Let me go to a new school setting that's a little more organized. I don't have to work. No, it was actually worse. So there was something that happened with the kid. And I'm going to say it. I don't work there no more. But people need to know.
Here we go.
Children are experimenting because there's a lot of social media, right? They're experimenting. They imitate social learning theories. Stop getting mad at kids for copying what you do, because that's what kids do. That's how they learn. So if you're doing something sketchy out here that inappropriate, 9 times out of 10, they copying you, and then they're going to go and do that to some other kid at school, at the playground, or what have you. So what I noticed as a social worker is that kids are imitating. It's too many for it to be one household fault thing.
I got you.
And that's where society, that's where they always want to go. It's your fault. You doing something in your house and you messing with my kid, poisoning him. No. All of y'all got y'all kids on YouTube and TikTok and devices, and they're all watching random things, and they come to school at recess and they start
act it out.
acted out, imitating it. I saw a kid play hitting another kid, talking about, you need to get out of bed, you're late, I'm gonna beat you. And it's just like, where is this coming from? Whoa,
where did
what
you
game
see that?
is this?
Yeah.
Oh, we're playing house. I don't like this game.
Yeah.
You know, or kids sitting in a circle and one is in the middle on the floor and they're saying something, come alive. It's like, y'all, and people are not in schools, y'all do not know what is happening on a day-to-day. So I say that to say there was an issue where kids were touching and something happened in the after school program. It came back to me like people don't know what a social worker is. They don't know that we work for society. Yes. So whatever problem you have, we work you through that.
Yep.
If I am a school social worker and a parent is telling me something took place in the school setting or involves another child at the school, it is my responsibility to talk her through that process authentically as a mother of a child that has to deal with this. I did what I did, said what I said. A week later, they let me know that it was not a good fit. I was not fit for their brand, and that's all they could say because what I did was illegal. But they just don't do that there. And what I got from it, what my message was, the best interests of the children and family were not their priority. And once they said whatever they said to me, that's how I received it.
Yeah.
And I felt the pain on my shoulder just lift. I was crying. I lost my grandma. I had like the worst year. They weren't very like, I didn't feel like as a whole, as a community, they were supportive. It was the same old school environment. They want to say that your feelings matter and you're a person, but in reality, it really doesn't. And it's hard when you ask people to tell them what's wrong and they have a moment and they let you in and be like, this is what I'm going through. And then you just be like, oh, okay. Well, let me know if you need anything. By the way, this is due. Why did I need to do all of that? I could have kept that to myself for you to tell me that, right? And it's like things like that were happening. People were so unhappy. The teachers were so unhappy. And then once I started being open about the fact that I'm unhappy and I'm going to continue to do my work the way I feel like is the right thing to do, other people started pulling me to the side and share like, oh my God, do you feel like you can't be yourself here? I feel like that too. Oh my God, this is, and it's just like teachers are struggling and suffering in silence right now. I do not support schools right now. It's not even afraid. They afraid of they losing their money.
That's what I was going to losing their job. Yeah.
They afraid, and it's beyond income because people will blackball you. They will be like, oh, you got released from this school and we're going to make sure that all the other principals know like you can't get a job. Like it's a different ball game out here. Okay, I'm walking with Jesus right now because after being there for 7 years and I went in from college, undergrad, I went in straight from undergrad all the way through.
Right.
So I'm just following the motions. This is what I'm being told. This is what's supposed to happen. And you follow, and there's a culture there, and you understand the culture, but the culture is already toxic. I was telling somebody the other day how like sometimes like our elders will teach us things that they figured out for survival, but then we realize that it's not important. It's not even relevant to us no more, but they still want us to act it out. But we believed it anyway, and it was wrong. So we have this wrong teaching that's ingrained inside of us because that's what we learned when we built. And it's like now after you've made it a habit, now you realize like, oh, snap, this wasn't good. My mama was wrong, or my teacher was wrong, or this person was wrong when they gave me this false truth. And now I have to unlearn it while I'm still in it, but still expected to do it.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the children. I feel bad for the parents. And that's where the Ultimate Social Worker PLC comes in.
There you go.
Because I needed to be that school social worker without the systemic barriers of the school. And that's what that is. I want to teach you social and emotional learning. I'm going to teach you those skills. I'm going to teach you, what is it? Self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, social management, decision-making, goal-directed behavior. These are positive thinking. don't we all agree that we need to learn these things? So why these teachers, why these schools is having an issue with that, or an issue making space for that? Mm-hmm. What is the issue? Y'all don't want us to heal. Y'all don't want us to get smarter. It's something there. Yeah. It's something there. It's the system. And I refuse to believe, whether it's intentional or not, or whether that was its original intent or not, that's what the system is doing. Mm-hmm. So what are we doing about that?
Right. And here you are now. You are the ultimate social worker, but we're really pushing this being, I say, stepping into your purpose fully.
Yeah.
Because you're already doing it in the school system, but now you're stepping into it fully, whether you're ready or not. Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. How is that going for you?
It's different. But they said they call me out upon the water with the great unknown where feet may fail. That's been my song for this season, because a lot of things in my life is changing and shifting very fast at the same time, which makes it hard to focus. Right. But even in the midst of that, what I'm starting to embrace and realize as I pray, as I like meditate, even like on my way here, it's a gift, right? I had to recognize it's not just about purpose. This is my gift to be able to communicate information to people in a way that they could receive it, process it, and then know what to do with it. And so now that I'm trying to lean more into that mindset, so that when I go to a community center, I say, hey, I want to teach, my Arise training to your kids or your families or your parents. I notice that it is in the one-on-one connections that I make with people where they realize, like, oh snap, you do know what you talk about. Like,
yes.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
And I love them.
Right. And as a shy person, as a naturally shy person, as someone that's been bullied in whether in school or in the actual workplace, that's always been forced to shut her voice off. It's literally that muscle. It's literally me feeling the heat in my body, the nervousness to talk to strangers, to talk and just be honest and be me, so that connection can happen. And whenever I submit to that and the connection happens, everything is so easy after that. It's so easy. So it's like I know this is where I'm at. It's so deep, because it's like I almost died, sis, and nobody knew. So that's something that's literally a piece that an experience I only have with God. Yeah. It's literally only me and God, and I know that for a fact. My parents can't share that with me. Nobody else was there. Right. Literally. And that is what convicted me and keeps me convicted. Every time I get nervous, I'm like, I'm about to apply. And I'll be like, no. I get the flashback of that. I'm like, no, God, I'm not going back. I don't want to feel that. Because it's like when God take you out of stuff, and then we forget, and then we go back. And I don't want to go back and not make it out the next time.
There you go.
So that's the part of it that I'm learning to embrace. My online course is coming out the end of this week, actually. But it's there. It's available, but I'll be sharing more about it the end of this week. And that course, I made it actually 3 years ago with the heart posture of I want to help adults bridge this communication gap in school. I want parents and educators to be able to come together to learn how to foster relationships, sense of belonging, and vulnerability amongst themselves. Let's set a foundational expectation as a school community. What do we expect from these children?
Yeah.
What do we expect from one another? And just go based off of that, as opposed to checking, oh, this guideline boss says we could do this. No, this guideline boss says we're not allowed to hug children, so you can't touch that kid. No, this guideline can't. It's just be like, yo, y'all are focused on guidelines that your community don't even agree with. Because when I have to put up LGBT, whatever flyers in the school, parents want to jump me.
Yeah, take it down.
And I'd be like, you're right. I don't really want to put it down. But they told me at my job, this is part of my duty to make sure I put this up, whether I agree with it or not. And that's the part where I think parents and teachers get confused, because parents expect or believe that teachers believe the thing that they're telling them personally, and vice versa. And it's usually not the case. Why y'all can't talk to each other? When I was in the classroom, first week of school, I'm calling every kid, parent. I'm like, how you doing, girl? What you want them to work on? What you doing? What they good at? What they bad at? Like, why did we lose sight of that? Why are teachers afraid to call parents now? Why are you afraid a parent gonna cuss you out?
Yeah.
I was never afraid of that. I'm still not afraid of that. I don't think I've been cussed out. Maybe once. If I was cussed out, I didn't believe I was cussed out, because I'm culturally competent. And when people speak passionately, I'm able to differentiate between passion.
But it's that part, that culturally competent part, that's missing. And a lot of teachers do not have it. They don't have it. Yes, that part. So... yeah.
And I'm trying to, and it's weird, because I didn't think that I would be so on parent side. Not really a side. I didn't think how much parents needed this support.
Oh, yeah.
And being that social worker on this side of seeing the behavioral stuff, because these are all things that they technically should have learned at home. Should have. Yeah. Right? But home looks different than it was back then. And back then we didn't have social workers in school. So whatever they were supposed to learn at home, right? It made sense. Now parents are working 2, 3, 4 jobs to survive.
Just to make
they don't got
meet.
the time to make sure their kid sits for 5 minutes still long enough to know for a fact that they do it. If they just know if their kid sat down, their kid could sit. Yeah. They don't know that it was 5 or 10 or 11 minutes, but you know that, and you're with them every day. You're with their kid every day. Why can't you teach them that? That's not in my curriculum.
Yeah, that's not my job.
But the curriculum, if he can't sit to write the curriculum, how are you going to get your curriculum done?
Yeah. Absolutely. You reminded me of like being an advocate for Trey. He's 17 now, but in the early stages for him, like they were quick to ADHD, the medication, all the things. And I'm like, wrote a letter to the board. Like, this is what I need you to test for this. Well, we don't do that. Well, you got 30 days. According to, like, I had to do the research and be my own. Like, I didn't have an advocate. I didn't have the social worker come help. Like, I didn't even work in the school, and I was doing all of that, like, advocating for him. And I taught him how to advocate for himself. He's very good. Like, I don't need that no more. I got this. I need this. I need the extra time. I don't need that. No, and I had to teach him, you have to advocate for yourself. But I just remember being the frustrated parent of, like, why don't they get it? I don't believe what you're telling me. No, we're not doing that. He's not going there. You're not moving him from his, like, no, help. You're not giving me what I need. And just Googling and looking and pulling up and like going to like all the things for him. And so we have parents like me that will do that for our kids. And then there's some parents that want to and they don't know. And I remember like other moms like, no, this is what you have to do. Girl, give it to me. I'll type it for you. Type it for them. Send it just like this. You sign your name and send it just like this. So from a parent perspective, yes, like just being on that side of that. And then being a social worker and a parent is like, it's really frustrating. This podcast episode is brought to you by FemForce, the ultimate solution for entrepreneurs craving consistent professional content without the hassle. Say goodbye to content creation overwhelm and hello to streamlined process that delivers 50 to 60 stunning photos and short video clips in just 1 hour. With shoots held at Instagram-worthy locations across cities like Austin, Atlanta, Dallas, DC, Denver, Houston, Miami, Nashville, Phoenix, and Tampa, FemForce ensures you have fresh visuals to elevate your brand every month. Whether you're launching a new product, updating your website, or keeping your social media vibrant, FemForce Shoots has got you covered. Don't miss this game-changing opportunity to elevate your brand and finally get the content you deserve. I've got an exclusive code just for my listeners to get you started today. So you can stop waiting and start showing up like the boss you are. Click the link below and let FemForce Shoots bring your brand to life.
You have all of these skills. I think it's so disrespectful when a parent is advocating for their kid and they don't listen to the parent. It's one thing you don't listen to the kid, whatever. We could debate about that. But the parent is telling you, this is my kid, this is what my baby needs. And you going to tell that parent, No. What?
But have you tried medication? That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm telling you that this is where he's at and what, man, yeah.
And that's why I get angry, because it's so funny, because I don't have any kids,
but you have kids at the same time,
right? That's how
your
I
community,
feel. Like they are, because the way I be going in. The way I be going in for these kids, and I'm like, yo, I don't even got the mama gene. So I could imagine.
Man.
But some moms are so, it goes back to the modeling and the empowerment piece. They're not empowered. They've been told for so long, coming up or whatever, that they're not enough, or they're not doing the right thing, or they're a horrible mother, or or they're so embarrassed that their kid is portrayed in this certain way that they give in, or they give in to whatever they tell them, or they just kind of like give up on their kid in a sense, or that's the message the kid receives, because they just don't know how, and they don't have the strength, the support, empowerment, advocacy to push them through that. Because you a different breed of mom. Because I know the kind of breed you are. My mom was kind of like that too. She didn't know much, but what she did know, and she knew who to ask, who was going to help her. Because it's like I was that serious about my kid. What I notice now too, I feel like the reasons why people have kids have changed. And that's part of why moms don't show up that way. And it's like now the school has to pick up that slack.
I see what you're saying.
Other than the fact that moms are not home for 3 years, the first 3 years like they should. I mean, Black moms didn't really get that luxury, but you know what I mean? The maternity, there was more calmness in terms of the young babies. The moms had more flexibility to be involved in that. And I feel like now they on their maternity leave, they get their 2-3 months, they back at work, the kid is at some type of daycare already, and it's like those are the things that's causing the behavioral and mental like challenges that we're having with our kids, because they're not bonding adequately with their parent, their attachment. They're having unhealthy attachments from kids, from young, and now they're trying to attach themselves to a new adult, and that adult is hostile towards them. And then so it goes back into that side of it. Like I talk a lot in now my education courses, my social and emotional education courses. I'm talking a lot about 3 major theories: social learning, attachment, and the last one is psychodynamic. And the psychodynamic is big because I need you have to look at your childhood and understand that it looks so different from theirs. Because as soon as you go into psychodynamic mindset, you already realize, like I'm thinking about me right now at 5. That was in 1990 something, I don't know. And what was going on? There was no cell phones. There was no beeper. Like when you really put yourself into like, yo, what was our child? Like, look, think about it. When I was 7, your kid is 7. Think about you in 7. Literally think about what was around you. Did you hear the Mr. Softy truck? Was this riding on the wall? I remember the little earrings with your name on it. Skating. You know what I mean? That's what was going on. And then it's like, okay, now what if now these new situations that come up, how would it have been handled? And we already know that it wouldn't even be like that way, because the structure of how our society is set up is not the same at all. And so now we got to learn it differently. We missing the attachment because nobody's home to be with the kid. Even grandmas are working.
I know. Yeah, it's different. Like, grandma, why are you still at work?
I'd be like, yo, this is rough. Grandmas are doing the parenting because they still have that left. And the other, like the real parents are not like doing it because they don't really know how. Between the gentle parenting, I did an open mic night last night, and that was the parents were asking tips. And she's like, yo, how do I get my kid to listen? Like she was running around at this orientation. And I said, first and foremost, my issue with that is where we at, if everybody's in a seat, it's an auditorium, it's an orientation, everyone's in a seat.
Have a seat.
How is my kid not in a seat?
Yeah.
And then when they decided to stand up and leave their seat, how did they get across the room when they were once next to me? how did they get across the room before I intervened?
Yeah.
I said, that's the problem. You're trying to intervene when they're across the room. As soon as they stood up, you should have sat them back down. Gently. But how do you do that gently?
No.
By addressing it.
This face. And they would sit down immediately. My bad, Mom. Oh, okay. That's it.
And that's it. And then you get the look. You just give them the look.
I know you lying. Sit down. Okay. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah.
People don't know that yet. And it's crazy because the kids know it if you teach it.
Yeah.
I'm not a parent, but kids know that. I give them a look.
The look. They know the look. My kids know the look. I know you. And I know you lying. When I said they laugh, Mom, you know how many times you say I know you lying? Probably a lot.
Yes.
They pick on me. But it's okay.
But those are the main things. The attachment, that relationship you have with your child, that's rewards and consequences. Yep. When you react to them, if they made a mistake and they told you a lie, do you scream at them? Do you beat them? Or do you sit down and be like, look, I don't want you to lie to me. This is what happens. Because those are the reactions that they study to determine how they're going to move around you. So that's that piece. Then you have the social learning piece. Parents have to be accountable. All the adults, teachers, everybody. Yeah. We have to be accountable. The kids are crazy right now because we live in a crazy world right now.
It is crazy.
They're literally mirroring us at every point.
So much happening right now.
Even the things they say, like, oh my goodness, I need a self-care today. Like, all of that. Like, one kid was like, oh, Miss Michelle, I'm going to go have sushi. And I was like, I didn't even know what sushi was when I was 8. But this is they copying us because when we was a kid, what did we want to be? A grown up.
Why?
That's all we wanted to be. I can't wait till I turn 18.
Why do we want to be a grown up?
I can't wait because it looked like grown ups be having fun. They get
ghetto.
to do what they want.
Can I say that? Being a grown up is ghetto as hell. I'm sorry. I do not like this. Like, can I give it back? Like, I did. I was like, I can't wait till I'm a grown up. And then I'm like, can I give it back? Like, I just want to be a kid, stress free, all the things. This is ghetto. I don't want it.
I don't know why the children want it either, but they want it. They're where we are, and they want to be like us. So whatever we doing, they trying to do it that way, and that's where the social learning. So whatever you want our kids to do and be, we have to do and be it, so that they can know how. They could see it. They could see it over and over. The repetition. They could get a chance to be trained in it and master it. Like, that's something that we know. We expect, I taught you how to do this. You should know how to do it. That's
Communicate. Like, I know my kids get tired of me. I talk to them so much. But it's important, like Trey. I said, Trey's 17. Trey I'm about to have an 18-year-old, y'all. I'm just going to be clear on that. But it's important that he knows what the real world is. Not great. It's not butterflies and rainbows and how you're going to carry yourself. And every action has a reaction and has a consequence. I mean, he gets in trouble. I'm like, okay, and how did that? I'm like, all right, cool. And how did that work out for you? And what do you think about? Like, seriously, let's talk about it. And we literally talk about it. I'm like, do you think that was a good idea? He's like, nah, Ma, I shouldn't have did that. I'm like, I don't think you should have either, bro. But here we are. I don't yell, really. I don't need to. Exactly. I don't need to yell. They already know. Or if he does something, he'll be like, Ma, I got to tell you something. I'll be like, oh, bro, what you do? He's like, hear me out. And I'm like, all right, let me hear him out. And I let him talk. And I'm like, okay. And I look at Charles and he was like, well, we were your age. It's always like we were your age too, like 17. When I talk about Trey being 17, I'm like, I told him another, I said, Trey, I was living on my own at 17. Like, I was like by myself at 17. So understand, like, I treat him like, not that he has me here, but I'm like, you're making a decision. You're on your own. What your bank account look like? What you got to do for that? What do you, like, because I was on my own and just teaching him those responsibilities. So it's so important as a parent. I think it's so different now. The way my mama is a grandma, she was not that way as a mama, but she's a great, you wasn't a bad mom. I'm not saying that, Mom, but so even it's different for her now, but it's just different times. And I try to keep up with how fast everything's changing and the things that they're getting and receiving. So it's definitely different.
Yeah, I love that you highlighted that you remember when you were 17 and you were on your own. And I agree with that. I feel like we were way more mature. We had way more like adult-like-ish responsibilities much earlier. And it's almost like this generation is spoiled because some people are protecting them. They're like, oh, I want my kid to be a kid. I want them to feel like they're a kid. But then it's like they're not learning any skills to grow up. And then when you pull the rug underneath them, when they're 18, 21 or whatever, y'all expecting them to know stuff. And that's why they stress right now, the college kids, because no one really forced them to have to be disciplined, to have to do chores, to have to do those things. They may have said it, but they wasn't enforced. Like the kids would tell me, like attendance, they don't come to school on time because nobody's gonna check. Who's gonna care? Like we still gonna pass.
My heart just dropped because if you late,
but see, that's from home.
Yeah, I'm
as a parent. So now,
be in your seat at 8:10,
right? But if the home doesn't have the foundation for whatever the reason is, that's the point of the school, the system. Like that's why school is supposed to help you out of poverty. You're supposed to learn something there that is going to carry you where your parents or your family or your lineage may not have been able to carry you. Yeah. So now you expecting that you send your kid to school, they're gonna learn how to be on time to a place. Yeah. But they're not. Or even an employer. Forget that. Let's go deep. I'm an employer and I'm waiting for these kids to graduate so I could get interns or new entry-level employees. I'm expecting that they know how to come on time. You know what I mean? That's something I'm expecting you to know. And then the kids come because they never had to come to school on time, but they still pass. And they come to work late and they shook when they bus.
It's like, what you doing? Oh, and you're going to be terminated.
Terminated. You won't be paid. Your pay is docked. Whatever the consequences that first time when they realize you in real life, you can't be late. They have an attitude. They be mad about it. They genuinely are confused. And I love how you say you have that conversation with your son because that's what they need. As opposed to us yelling at them, they have to go through conflict resolution skills and figure out what step they did wrong or what steps they took that got them here and what they could have done differently to get them to where they actually wanted to be. And we can't get them there by yelling at them and telling them what we think they should do.
Nope. Because that's how I got yelled at all the time. I wasn't even really a bad kid, but my mom just like yelled, like everything was like, yeah, okay, like to the point that I didn't talk very much growing up.
Right.
My voice was taken from me in a sense until I realized I have a voice again. So I try to keep all of that in mind this time, being a parent. I'm like, I'm going to break that. I don't want that. I don't want that for them. I don't want them to grow up that way. And me and Charles, my husband, we were talking about that. I was like, they shouldn't be able to say they grew up with any type of trauma, right? Like we did good, right? And he's like, I think we're doing we're doing a good job, right? He's like, Quita, I think we're fine. I'm like, all right, because I just want to make sure we laugh about it, but we really be having them conversations because we're like, I remember that time? Oh no, we talked about that. We did with that. We have no trauma, right? We good. Okay, whew.
I want to help all the parents that feel like you right now, okay? It is okay if your child has trauma, okay? No. All trauma is unprocessed adversity. Yeah. We all go through and will go through and will continue to experience adversity. The key is that we have to always make space to continue to process what we are going through. We cannot suffer in silence because that's where the traumas come and all those other things, especially with kids because kids are literally experiencing life for the first time as they're experiencing it with us, right? We're still doing it the first time too, but we have more years under our belt. We've understood some patterns. We've learned some things, but they
recognize them.
Right. They this is their first show. This is the first run. So they don't even have a pattern. They don't have no data. Yeah. They're going straight off of this is how I feel. I'm reacting. This is how I saw them react. I'm gonna react like that. They're literally
now, how did that make
learning.
You feel? Ooh, not good. Yeah. So what are we gonna do next time?
Exactly. Okay, they need to process that. If we don't process what happens to them, that I feel like that first 8 years, if you don't pay attention to them and process the things that they're going through with them, they're going to have a trauma, whether it's obvious, whether it's quiet or internal, like you're going to miss it if you don't talk to them because it's not going to seem that big a deal to you. Or maybe it don't even seem a big deal to them because no one else is making it a big deal. So they don't even realize how impactful the experience is on them because no one is acknowledging it.
Oh my gosh. So as you are building the ultimate social worker brand, this is different than the nonprofit. What do you want people to know?
I want people to know that, especially in the Black and brown community, we heal different.
Yes.
We learn different. We are not check boxes. A lot of the labels and diagnoses that they try to put us under are based off of research and data that's not on us. And my vision behind the ultimate social worker, and I'm about to be on the doctor wave too.
Hey, she's
in
almost
my own
there.
Research. I'm
proud.
I say that wholeheartedly because I didn't know I was going to be passionate about research, but I just didn't know what type of research I was interested in. And so now that I know, it's about actually creating interventions that are for Black people that we know that work. And we have them, but we don't publish them. We don't write about them. And we don't even acknowledge them as real solutions if you want to talk about it, right? Because I did my podcast interview this month. I interviewed a 6-year-old.
I know. I can't wait.
Oh, yes. I think it dropped on Monday.
Okay,
yes.
I gotta watch it.
I love Antoine
so
Hartman.
cute.
That's my honorary son. That little boy was going to be diagnosed with autism if I didn't get involved the way that I got involved in a very strict manner. And I bring him up all the time because when you hear him speak and how articulate, people cannot believe. And I said, if I wasn't the ultimate social worker in that moment, he would have had a different school year. He would have had a completely different school year. And that's what I'm trying to see. Sometimes our kids are actually gifted and talented and neurodivergent on a whole other level. It's way past you. That because you're so big on your power, you want to reduce them to this thing, and I'm going to force them into submission. Don't that sound familiar to you? I was an Africana Studies minor. So I have all that in me, and I only went to PWIs. There's a skill set that I've been able to acquire throughout the years that gives me different viewpoints of the world and how it works. And the Black community is still marginalized, even with the progress we've made, because now we've progressed in a manner we've never seen before. So some of our progress is messy because we don't even know how to handle it. I don't know how to be Black and be wealthy. I don't know how to be Black and have my business. I don't know how to... we genuinely are literally learning. And just like now we did all the single mama stuff. Remember, we're like, I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. And dudes is like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to pay for no child support. Now look, we don't got no babies because we not loving on each other right now. But that was a result of a different social problem that we saw. We didn't know that later on this would be the outcome. But now we know the outcome. It's like, all right, guys, we got to start. We got to talk to each other.
A little bit.
We gotta try. We gotta rework some things, but give each other grace and be okay to experiment and try new things. And don't be afraid to reach out to me, reach out to others. I love the fact that I helped someone, design an after school program that was innovative. They needed curriculum. So these are the different things that I'm doing as the ultimate social worker to build the community. I just did a debutante program, and now that's going to be something that's elevated. The parents want that back, right? And it built the self-esteem of the kids. It's building the community. It's bringing back some of the behaviors and characteristics socially that we want our young ladies and our young boys to exhibit. We have to teach them. We have to teach the children. We have to teach our kids. They're our kids. They're not the DOE's kids. They're not the charter schools kids. They're not the system kids. They're our
babies.
Our kids. They're our responsibilities. And we know how to do it. Even with Black men, they drive me insane, but I support them because I say that's our men. We know how to deal with them.
We
really.
Do.
Other people don't
know how,
and they be struggling. They be getting in trouble, right? But then it's we are so hurt. Everybody is so hurt by their own traumas and in their own feelings that we walk around bleeding on everybody. Stop bleeding. If you are bleeding, step back. dry your wounds, and it's okay to admit that you are. So people know, like, oh, you bleeding, let me back up.
Well, yeah.
Thank you for letting me know. You need a gauze?
Communicate.
I got you. But everybody, like, when I tell you the voice, this right here, you call it a chakra, or they have a name for, like, you know, them fancy heel. Yeah. I'm not the fancy heel. I'm very clear, direct. You know, I might be on the spectrum. I don't know, but they have a nice name. Your throat chakra.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's real in the sense. I felt it when you want to say something and you get that ball. Right. And you cannot get it out, and you know that what you're about to say could free you. Mm-hmm. But you can't talk.
Yeah.
That's what we have to overcome. Because it's like when you finally release it, what's the worst thing that could happen? For me, I could lose my job. It happened.
There you go. So now what?
And I was free after that. So now it's gone. You can't get me to be quiet. You see, I'm talking this whole time.
I'm happy. Listen, this is your hour.
Girl.
This is your time. No, because for you, and we've known each other for a bit now, and I've told you before, when you speak, your passion is there. You're very professional. Your message is there. It's there. Mm-hmm. You have it. Now you just have to put it out. Right. And that's what you're doing with the Ultimate Social Worker. This is your time. Talk about what you're going to do now that the worst thing that could happen to you has happened. Right. So now what?
Exactly.
You're not afraid anymore. It's already happened. So I'm going to continue to speak. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to apply to the things. I'm going to go to these stages. I'm going to go to these schools. I'm going to build my own program. I'm going to have my 2 different parent and, children coaching programs. I'm going to, up the price on my course. I'm going to do these things because what's the worst that could happen to me that hasn't already happened to me? So you're here. You're here. Mm-hmm. So this is your time and your moment, and you're doing that. And so it's not saying I'm trying to do or what I'm going to do. You are doing it. Now, what it looks like, people don't see the messy side of it, of what we go through. They see the success side, but you're still doing it. I'm proud of you. Of course. Of course I am.
Thank you, sis. I'm proud of you. And I think you, like, going back to modeling, you don't model, but you could be. I'm just saying. You could be. I'm not recruiting you. I'm just saying you could be.
I appreciate
But I say that when going back to the modeling thing, when I was talking about, like, the body positivity in the community, it also reminded me about sisterhood.
Yeah.
And I did not realize how important it is to have not just sisterhood, but aligned sisterhood. Because you could desire sisterhood so bad that you still you put yourself around the wrong people.
Yeah.
But I am grateful that with Dominique, Shabria, with you, like, there's a sisterhood that we have. We don't even live near each other.
I know.
We don't live near each other. And it's like the support is so, like, it feels so great. And you're distant, and there's people that's right next to me, draining me, and cannot like a picture. But you be all across all of these state lines. You got this. You promoting, you sharing, and it's reciprocal, and nobody has to ask anybody. It's we never talked about it. It just happened, and I learned from that relationship with y'all. Like, oh, okay, the people around me don't really like me. They're not really my friend, because it's like if I don't have to ask these people for something that I do naturally, why is it that I'm having that struggle here? And it took me to another layer of self-exploration, because it's like when you're trying to build something new and you need that, you got to be able to recognize the people around you that are for you.
Yep.
And sometimes you don't realize, even your own family, you would assume like they for you because that's blood. But really, where you trying to go? Are they really aligned with the mindset, the changes you want to make, the person you trying to become?
No, they're not. They don't understand. Half of them don't even understand what you're doing, what you're trying to build. How your little business going, Kita? We doing quite all right over here. How y'all doing?
Hello, business.
It's okay,
They don't be knowing.
I peep the shade, right? But I had to also learn that y'all are not even my ideal customer, so why am I mad? Like, I'm not advertising to you. I know what I'm here to do and what I'm called to do. And so I'm going to continue to do that. And once I learn that, and I talk about my circle all the time and how I surround myself with certain people. And the ones that know me know, Quita ain't finna go out with you. So you might as well not even ask her, because they know I'm not going. Like, what do we have to talk about? Exactly. If you're not trying to be seven figures, we don't have anything to talk about. Facts. And I'm just saying that. And so I really am very particular about who's in my community, who's in my circle, who comes places with me. Very, very particular about that. As I continue to grow. And I always I always say I'm the biggest cheerleader because I want everyone to win. We all do so many different things, but we also can support each other in what we're doing. There's no competition. It's like, what you doing, girl? I'm about to be in NY with you in a couple weeks. I'm so excited about it, actually. So yes, Fashion Week. I have to come support. Why not? And I'm going to turn around and be on a plane in Reno the next day. Still haven't figured that out. My plane leaves at 3. So we're going to work that out. But I'm going to be there. Like, I can't help that. I want everyone to win. So I say that in saying, like, yes, your circle matters. Your environment matters. Those that you think are going to support you the most, hate to tell y'all, they're not.
They sure not.
They're not. And you have to just, unfortunately, get over that. But continue to remember why you started, what you're doing, and continue to push, because someone's waiting for your message, for your brand, and for you to keep doing that. And no, it doesn't reside in the people that are always like right here next to you. It's the same thing. I have people that will skip. It's people that I know for a fact that may not even necessarily follow me, but they know everything that I'm doing. And they'll be like, oh, how are you doing? I'm like, how y'all know? Oh, because you took the time to type my name in to see what I'm doing. Didn't like a photo, didn't like anything, didn't buy a book. But you're going to say, oh, I heard you're speaking in Canada in October. Bet I am. But how you know? Because you're not following, So stuff like, I'm like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
It's all good, bro. It's all
100.
good.
I was talking about that the other day. Like, this social media life is crazy. I don't like
out there.
But to your point, in the midst of the crazy, I had to accept, like, yo, you're helping people in the midst. And yes, it's crazies in between. But in that crowd of crazies, those with ears will hear. And that's who needs to hear you. Yeah. That's what you're in the room for, and to not allow the distractions to distract you. And that's what I'm trying to hone in this season. It's a lot of distractions, a lot of opinions. People got ideas of what you should do, what you not. It's like, be quiet. Where was you when I was dying at that job and I needed an escape? Yeah. You wasn't there. You didn't. Matter of fact, you ain't believe me. You was like, you good. You be so right. Whatever I do now, moving forward, no. You're not invited, but if you like my picture, thank you for telling me what I'm doing. Yeah. Because that happens, like, if I go away, like, if I go back to my alma mater in Albany, that always happens. It's hilarious. Because I'd be like, oh, I didn't even know y'all, like, remember me. Some people. And they'd be like, yeah, I be seeing you here, there. And I was like, oh, okay, so you won't just like anything. Okay. You won't even comment, but you going to lurk silently, so I will not know.
It's like, okay, I don't know your purpose, but cool. Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you for letting me know you were being a creep. I like it. All right. I'll keep you on the radar.
Oh my gosh. I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me and being a part of my journey again with the podcast. And you're always welcome back, of course. Anytime.
I gotta have you on the Or Series very soon.
Let me know.
Top of the year, just so you know.
Send me the date. I got you, girl. I always say, just tell me where to be. I'll be there. So I got you for sure. Can you let the audience know where they can find you and connect with you, please?
The best way to connect with me and the fastest way to connect with me right now is actually on Instagram. And you can find me there at I am the USW. USW stands for the Ultimate Social Worker. If you find me on there, everything you need to know, link to my website, how to book me. You could even DM me what I'm doing, what's going on. You can find me there. If you are interested in youth-related programming or family-related programming or want to come to our next resilience camp, you can also follow me at RYM_INC. That is my Resilient Young Minds page. Anything to do with that, you will see there. Our suicide walk is coming up in September, and details on how to register and participate is there as well.
Yes. And I will make sure to link all of your information in the show notes, so it's just one click away. All right, you guys, if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that bell and subscribe. And if you're listening to this wherever you stream your podcast, be sure to leave a review. All right, you guys, until next time.